We're starting out today with our masterclass talking about how to integrate your asana, which is the word that we use in yoga for posture, and meditation or a meditative state. What we're trying to do is get them intertwined in such a way that it's as if it's like a symphony. So when I was young, I was fortunate. My dad worked in San Francisco. We got to go to the symphony all the time. And the symphony, it's all these different instruments, so many instruments, hundreds of instruments sometimes, depending upon the symphony. And you have the string section and the brass section. And when it all comes together, that music really touches our soul. And that's what we're trying to do, is we're creating this integration with the asana and this meditative state that integrates in such a way that it gives us an experience of our own existence, of our own soul. And music does that. Music touches our soul. It speaks a different language. And that's what our talk is about today. So if you're looking at how postures move from one to the next posture, you can correlate that to how the mind works, how thoughts move from one thought to the next thought, or how it correlates with breath. One breath moves to the next breath. Or even if you break down the breath, you can look at how one part of the breath then links into another part of the breath, and then another part of the breath. And it's this experience of this sequence. And we begin to recognize this moment to moment experience. And we begin to recognize that there's patterns, and the mind will have a strong pull to identify with these patterns, with the content of whatever our life experience is and the thinking of our life experience. And there typically is a narrative. And what we start to realize in this practice is that the narrative is like a braid. It's like, when you braid your hair, you have all these different strands or different threads. And each strand is a story. It's a story that we tell ourselves, that we tell other people. It's our likes, our dislikes, our judgments about things. That's all that it is. It's these different little strands that are all part of this braid that create this whole narrative. And when we practice yoga, we can bring our attention to breath, and it becomes a tool. And the reason why it's a tool is because it gives us space and distance so that we can start to see and have an experience of the body in a different way, and what the ideas of the body are. And the more we practice, we can then let those strands of our storytelling dissolve, and then we begin to observe, and we get a different experience of life, where we're able to connect differently. And when we connect to our existence, which is that deeper part of ourselves, that soul part of ourselves, then we are less connected to our stories. So one of the ways that we do this is by being mindful. Mindfulness is very popular. It's used in meditation. It's talked about a lot. You can go online and it's all over the place. But we're going to use it today in how we move through our postures. And mindfulness characteristics are that of being centered or present, having non-judgment, being intentional and deliberate, being non-attached. You're not attached to any thoughts or any experiences that come up. Moving into silence or having silence. There's a curiosity there. So there is kind of this exploration type of nature to it. And it's uplifting, but yet it's stable, and there's ease. So that's the experience. That's the experience that we're going for. And just as a little side note, As you practice mindfulness, it leads to concentration. Mindfulness and that practice with the asanas, with the postures, then leads us into this ability to concentrate. So mindfulness, the definition of it is having the ability to remember where you are and bringing your awareness to where you are, bringing your awareness and knowing where you are. Concentration is what progresses out of mindfulness, and it is being able to be absorbed in what you are doing, completely present. So the mindfulness is being able to have that awareness and remembering where you are. And that concentration is being absorbed in that moment, being absorbed in that experience, in that present moment. Okay, so we're going to start our practice out today with a meditation. So what I would like for you to do is get comfortable, and I'm just going to sit right here to start. I'm not even going to actually go back into my mat because I'm going to guide you through a meditation. That's how we're starting our practice tonight. So go ahead and get yourself comfortable. If you need to sit in a chair, sit in a chair, because the first thing you want to do is eliminate physical distraction. So plant yourself in a chair if that's needed. Make sure that the spine is lifted. And then you have a few options with your hands. You can bring your right hand into the left, connect your thumbs, drop your hands into your lap. Or you can bring pointer finger and thumb together, palms up, and rest them on your legs. And then close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, begin to keep your focus on the body. You can do a little body scan starting at the top of the head and drop your awareness gradually down from the head all the way down, relaxing along the way. Put aside distraction. Put aside attachment, distress with reference to the world. Put aside any ideas of the body as good or bad, strong or weak, healthy or sick. Keeping your eyes gently closed, find a sense of the breath. Sense the breath, the body, and the mind. Continue to feel that sense of the breath and the body and the mind and even the world. Begin to feel yourself as unlimited, expansive, and boundless. Keep sensing the body with awareness until it settles. And when the mind begins to grasp on this or that, say, let it go. If the mind goes into thought and grasps for a particular thought, tell it, let it go. Any sensations that come up, let it go. Any thoughts that come and go, simply just say, let it go. Everything that is perceivable that comes in, tell it, let it go. Say, let it go. Begin to feel yourself established in the body. And as you sense the body and the mind and the breath, you'll begin to notice how things arise and then pass in the mind and the body. And with the practice, you'll begin to learn to stay present and to recirculate energy by being less distracted. So when we're distracted, that means that you're giving energy to those distractions, those attachments. And when we learn to just let them go, we become more concentrated, more aware, and now we have more energy that can circulate. And then new qualities of the mind begin to develop. That's how mindfulness develops. Be mindful and aware of the breath. Be mindful of the body. Be mindful of where you are. Where are your hands? Where are your feet? Where is your nose? And be mindful of movement of the breath, movement of the body. And if it's natural for you, let that mindfulness easily move into concentration and begin to ask yourself, are you with the body? Are you with the breath? Are you with the mind? Completely present, absorbed, established. Take a few moments of silence. Continuing to repeat to yourself if needed, let it go. Bring your hands together to your heart. And dropping your head down towards your hands, acknowledging your own heart. Where is your heart? Awareness of the heart and focus on the heart. And then gently release your arms down and slowly open your eyes. Okay, so